You got there. What? Por ahí. Coisa.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening to you. How are you?
Fine, thank you, sir. And you?
I'm very fine.
Thank God. Too.
They have not yet come.
Yes, sir.
Let's give them when you are ready, and then you can tell.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Please, I wish to ask a question.
Yeah.
Yes, under elision and aspiration. Yeah, the first example, the first illustration, and the second one. Yeah, where we have ST out there.
That
Said
is
this,
lesson.
it is
That is lesson 6.
lesson 6, sir.
Lesson
Elision and
6.
aspiration.
Okay.
Subsection 36.
Subsection 36.
Mm.
Let me see what I'm. Let's hold on. Elision. Okay. Okay. Subsection 36. Okay. Go ahead.
The first and second illustrations, where we have it is this woman in bracket, they are these men. That the woman in bracket and the men in bracket, they are still confusing me.
Oh, okay. Just hold on. We learned about subjunctive adjectives.
Yes, sir.
And subjunctive adjectives, it was subtopic 28.
Subtopic 28.
28.2, and number 5.
Yes, sir. Substantive adjective.
Yeah, substantive adjectives. We are
Yes,
told
sir.
that they occur when the noun is omitted. They occur when the noun is done what? Omitted. That is the first thing. That is there is no noun. Okay. And then the adjective it itself. The adjective it itself. Okay. Functions it functions as a noun. The adjective itself functions as a noun. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Either accompanied by a definite article in Greek, okay, or not. And then I gave an example under that subsection. Ta agada or agada means the good or good things. Ta agada. Ta agada is actually in the nominative neuter. Nominative neuter. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And then we are given this phrase, ta agada. So we don't have a subject there. Or agada. It means the good or good, and then you can see in the bracket things, isn't it?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah. So what makes us add things in the bracket? It is because they are neuter. We don't know the kind of things, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you are only given ta agada, ta agada. And then when we translate, we say good. Good what? You need to ask yourself, good what? Now, under this nominative neuter, they should be good things. Good things. So you find a noun by identifying the nominative of the nominative of the adjective, and it is in which persons. Is it singular or plural? Ta agada is in plural, so it is in the nominative neuter. Okay.
Yes.
And therefore, we translate it as ta agada, that is good things. The good what? Things. Ta is an article, agada is an adjective, and therefore they are in the nominative case of neuter. And therefore, it is, I can say the good, and then you ask yourself, the good what? Okay, we can put there neutral thing, like the good things. So yes, you need to identify the subject by identifying the case of the noun or the subject. So in this thing is agada is in neuter nominative, and therefore it may refer to good things because things are neuter. We don't know what things, and they don't have any sex. We cannot refer to things like female or masculine or male. Okay, so yes, we identify the subject by identifying the kind of adjective and its case. The kind of adjective and its case. It is in which gender. You ask yourself, it is in which gender. If it is in masculine, you can put there the good man or the good man, because it is plural, the good man. And the adjective may be hoi agadoi, hoi agadoi. That is shows that the adjective is in masculine noun. The gender of the adjective is masculine noun. So I can fix there any of anything that refers to male. For example, the good men, the good boys and the good old men. Okay?
Okay, sir.
No, don't just say okay, but you have gotten how I get good things.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's the same thing when we come to to uh, to that lesson. When you are translating, find out the kind of what? The gender of the adjective, because you are only given the adjective and its gender, but you are
Okay.
not given any subject or noun there. So you need to ask yourself, good what? The good what? The good things, because it is neuter. Any other place?
No, sir.
Okay.
Those are the needs most attention. There are too many principles to be to be followed.
Yeah, you know, Greek needs concentration. And when you are doing it in the class, you may find it somehow difficult. Only listen and follow the direction as they go. And then later, when you are doing the revision, slowly by slowly, you will get it. You will come to know how these things work. Especially, in fact, in your textbook, I tried to simplify as much as I could so that you will not be discouraged. Okay.
Yes.
So, any other person with a question, please? There seems to be no person with a question. So, Linus, hello, Linus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think we can begin the lesson, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Let's begin.
Yeah. So, we are now on lesson 7. We are now on lesson 7. And
Yes,
in lesson 7, we have the in subtopic 39, vocabulary. We did not go through yesterday. And in fact, we need just to read through so that you can be acquainted of what this vocabulary means. Now, the first vocabulary on your left, we have agape, agape, agape. Agape, you can see we have an article in front of it, and it is an article hey. So this article indicates that agape is a feminine noun, and therefore it falls under the first declension nouns. And what does it mean? It means love. When you are talking about love, agape, that is the word you need to use. Many people like saying, I love you. I love you. So we are using the word agape, love. And then the second vocabulary is ha. It begins with a rough breathing because the word begins with a vowel, alpha. And the accent on it is a rough accent. So we have to pronounce it as ha, ha, hamasha, hamasha, hamasha. Hamasha also is a feminine noun because the article is feminine. And it means what? Seen. Seen. When you are talking about seen, this is the word you need to use. Hamasha. Ha, ha. Don't say amasha. No. Ha, masha. Rough breathing with letter H. Ha. If it could be smooth breathing, I wouldn't have said ha. I would have just said amasha. But this is now hamasha, which means sin. And then the third vocabulary is artos. 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 You can see the article in front of it is masculine. So artos is under the masculine gender, okay? And therefore, it refers to what? Bread or loaf. You all know what bread is. You all know what a loaf is. We always use it for breakfast. So, artos means bread, bread. It begins with a vowel, but it has a smooth breathing. And on that smooth breathing, we also have the accent, acute accent on the same letter alpha. Artos, 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 bread, loaf. And then the fourth vocabulary is autos, autos, autos. And you can see it can be a feminine. No, what you see in front, actually it tells you that this is an adjective. It is an adjective because it is divided into masculine, and the masculine always ends with OS. OS, autos. So autos, os. And then if it is feminine, it will be aute. That is why you see the letter eta there. There is a dash and then eta. And we have an accent on it. So aute in the feminine. And then we have also omicron. You can see a dash and then omicron with an accent on it. And it means what? This is neuter. So as masculine, we pronounce it as autos. And as feminine, we pronounce it as aute, aute. And as neuter, we pronounce it as auto, auto, auto. And that's why this eta and omicron come in front of this vocabulary. So it is an adjective. And what does it mean? Autos or aute or auto in neuter, it means he in masculine, she in feminine, or it in neuter. It. I hope you get the point. And then we come to another vocabulary. Doron. Doron. Doron is neuter. Why do I say that it is neuter? You can see the article in front of it is to. The article in front of it is to. And therefore, it indicates to me that doron is neuter, and you can also see it ending. It ends in the form of neuter, that is on, omicron nu. And it means gift. So when you are talking about gift, remember this is the word you use. I'll give you a gift. You mean doron, doron. And then the other vocabulary is ego, ego, ego. It means I. When you are talking about yourself, I cannot do this. I know. I can go. So when you are using the pronoun I, then you are using this word in Greek, ego, 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 ego. And then another vocabulary is any. Any is a verb, and particularly it is used as a linking verb. Any is a verb mostly used as a linking verb. We'll come to linking verbs and etc. And I believe you have learned that in your English lesson. So any means I am. So when you are saying I am not going, you are using this word, I am, I am. Amy, Amy. Yeah, we have some, most women, they call themselves Amy. Okay. Now, on your right, we have the vocabulary estio. Estio is a verb. Estio is a verb. How do I know that it is a verb? Look at it ending. The ending is with omega, omega. So, estio, estio, estio mean I eat, I eat. Estio, estio, I eat, I eat. So it is a verb. And then another vocabulary that follows, this vocabulary that follows is a preposition. We have learned about prepositions. It is a preposition. Why do I conclude that it is a preposition? It is a preposition because it is pronounced as kata, kata. And we are told that when the word kata in Greek is used with the genitive case, what you see in the bracket plus genitive, it means when kata is used or is followed by a genitive case, it means against. So kata here may mean against, especially when the following word is a genitive, in the genitive case. And when it is in the accusative case, not another bracket, you see I have written plus. That plus is actually saying that when kata is joined, followed by a word in the accusative case, then it means according to, according to. So kata is a preposition that has got two usages. It can be used with a genitive and also a genitive case, and also it can be used with an accusative case. So when you are translating, you need to note this word kata is followed by which word or a noun, and that noun is in which case. If it is in the genitive, then it means against. But if it is in the accusative case, then it means according to. Always we normally say, this is the gospel according to St. Luke, or this is the gospel according to St. John. Okay. Now, another vocabulary is ox law. Ox law. Ox law is in the masculine gender. Masculine gender. You can see in front of it we have an article of masculine, ho. Okay. Now, what does it mean? It means crowd. Always in the Bible, you read the crowd following Jesus, or a multitude of people following Jesus. When you are reading about that, you are using this word, ox laws. A crowd or a multitude. And then we have another noun there, but it is in the neuter gender. And it refers to what? It is ployon. 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 Ployon means boat. Boat. Jesus, with his disciples, used to cross the Lake of Galilee in boat. So, ployon means boat. And remember, is in neuter. Ployon is neuter. And then another vocabulary is su. Su actually is a personal pronoun. Personal pronoun. A personal pronoun referring to you in singular. You in singular. Remember, su means you in singular. We'll have others, personal pronouns, which in fact we are going to learn them in this lesson, and you'll see how they are declined. Now, another word or vocabulary is sozo. 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 Always observe a Greek word, especially vocabularies. See how they are written. You can see sozo. After sigma, we have omega, and you can see on that omega, we have an accent on top, and then a iota subscription underneath it. Okay, so that's how sozo is to be written. And it means what? It is a verb. It is a verb because of its ending. You can see it ends with omega. Okay, omega. And omega stands for I. So sozo means what? I say. I say. I say. Maybe you find someone in a problem, and you decide to do what? To help that person. You have saved that person from the situation he was in. Jesus came to save us from the situation we are in, the sinful situation that we are engaged in. So when we are talking of Jesus coming to save us, we are referring to this word, sozo. Sozo. I say, Jesus came to save us. I say, soteriology. You know what soteriology means. And then the last vocabulary here is psyche, 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 psyche. And I hope you have come across this first letter Greek word, alphabet, psi, psi, psi. So we pronounce psiu, psiu, psyche, psyche, psyche. Psyche is a noun. And in which gender? In the feminine gender. Feminine gender. And therefore, it means soul, soul, or life. You remember when God created man. After creating man, we are told that he breathed into his nostril the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Man became a living soul. So, breath of life and living soul. So, when you are talking about soul, when you are talking about life, this is what we refer to. Psyche, 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 soul or life. So please note that, and that is the end of our vocabulary. And now we come to subsection 40, enclitics. Enclitics. Now, what are enclitics? I think in your text, I stated that enclitics are words that are so closely related to the words that come before. The words that come before. The other word for before is precede. The word that precede them. That they, that is the enclitics, the enclitics do not require accents of their own. They do not require accents of their own. Remember, enclitics are the opposite of proclitics. Proclitics. Pro means first. And enclitic means it comes after the word, after the noun, or it may come after the verb. Okay? So that is what I mean. So they do not have their own what? Accents, enclitics. Just like the proclitics. Pro means they precede the word, or they come before the word. That is, they come first and then the word now follows it. You'll see an example of some of them. And then we need to know something about these enclitics. What are we to know about these enclitics? The first thing we need to know is that they form a phonetic unit. They form a phonetic unit with the preceding word by adding an additional accent to the word preceding the enclitic, or by accenting the enclitic itself. So you can put two accents on the word, or in other words, we can put one accent on the word and you put another accent on the enclitic. This has rules to follow. It has rules to follow. And they are not so difficult if you listen well. Now, the other thing we need to know about enclitics is that they include forms of personal pronouns. They include forms, that is the formation of personal pronouns. That's the first portion. And forms of verb. Forms of the verb, emi. You have just gotten the vocabulary of emi. And I have shown in the notes what emi means. It means I am. And a few others. So simply they include forms of personal pronouns. We are going to learn about these personal pronouns after this, so that we can know what are these personal pronouns. And then forms of the verb, emi, we are going to get the conjugation of the word emi. The conjugation of the word emi, to show its usage in singular and plural. Its usage in first person, second person, and third person singular, and also first person, second person, and third person plural. These are the things we are going to come to as you go together with me in this lesson. Now, the other thing we need to note, these things are in your notes. I'm just trying to pick a few of them. I may emphasize whatever I need you to know. So in number 3, if you check in your notes, number 3, it says that proclitics, remember enclitics, these are proclitics that I was telling you were similarly related to words that follow them. For example, masculine and feminine forms of articles. We did the declension of articles, and we did this declension in the genders, that is masculine, feminine, and a neuter singular, and then masculine, feminine, and a neuter in their plural number. So already we have learned. I hope you have not forgotten them. That's why you need to revise, always revise what you are learning. Don't just think, once I have had it in the class, that is enough. No, take your time. Take your time. I used to take my time. I could come home. I had my board. I had to do some revisions of what we have done. I could sleep very late, almost 3, 4. I sleep 2 hours. By 6, I wake up. I'm going to class. And in fact, I was married. So being married is not an excuse. Yeah? You can make it. So, brothers, let me go into a lot of whatsoever. So, proclitics were similarly related to words that follow them. For example, the masculine and the feminine forms of articles in both the nominative singular and the nominative plural. What do I mean? I'm forced to go on the board so that I can give you an illustration for you to understand. And these examples are coming from the declension of the articles. The declension of the articles. Now, when I say that the nominative singular and the nominative plural, I'm referring to this. Singular and then plural. So we had in singular, in the declension of the article, we had in the nominative or, and this was or in the, this is singular first, or in masculine and head. Or in masculine and hair in feminine. And then we had also this ho in plural, it becomes hoi. Hoi. This is a dictum. Omicron iota. And then with the rough breathing, we say hoi, hoi, masculine and high, high. In masculine, this is masculine, this is feminine. This is masculine, this is feminine. Okay? So, these articles in singular, ho and he, and hoi and high, they are referred to as proclitics. They are referred to as proclitics. Okay? Proclitics. Why? Because always they come before the nouns. They come in a sentence, they come before the noun. But in the vocabulary, they come after the nouns. This, okay, this and that. They come after the noun. But in the sentence, they come first before the noun. And this noun may be a masculine or feminine. So that's why they are referred to as proclitics. That is, they come before. They are nouns. Enclitic. Enclitics, they come after. They come after. Enclitic come after. Proclitics, they come before. So I hope you understand that. Okay, so as we continue, you can see, or what I want you also to note, the first point that I want you to note is that about enclitics is that we have a major difference between enclitics and proclitics. And that major difference is that the enclitics give rise to a number of special rules. Enclitics, they have what we refer to as special rules of accenting them. We have special rules of accenting the enclitics. Okay. And we have special rules of accenting them as stated in actually number one in your notes. Number one above. Okay. Number one above. That is subsection 40.1. And then you see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I need, they are well illustrated and given to you. And I won't go through them. You'll have to go through them. But I want us to come to subsection 40.2. And it is actually adjoined to. The rules are as given below in number 6 of 1. The rules are as given below to provide an overview for future reference. Always I've given you the rules and go through them on regular basis. Don't just go through once and then you say, they are very difficult for me to remember. Remembering something, you need to practice. Don't just read theoretically without practicing. Practice to write on the board, whether you know, you can remember. When you can remember something, that is when learning takes place. So we see in subsection 40.2 that according to the rules, according to the rules, the word preceding an enclitic is affected in the following ways. It is affected in the following ways. With this one, I have to go through with you because I need you to note something. And there are several special cases that I need to illustrate on the board so that you can come to understand. Now, for example, in number 1, the rule says an acute accent on the ultima may remain. That is, it does not move to a grave accent. It does not move to a grave accent. Now, I think you do understand what ultima is. You understand what the ultima is? There are 3 stages that we can put our accents on. The first one is ultima, and then penal, and then antepenal. We have learned about this, so you cannot escape it. Ultima, penal, and antepenal. Okay. Now, when it is said that an acute accent on the ultima may remain, that is, it does not move to a grave accent. This is what I mean. Examples. I need to illustrate through the examples. Now, I must go to the board again. You can see on the board, we have the word, examples given. We have the word, hey, Adelphi. Hey, Adelphi. Adelphi, move. Which means, literally, this first of all means, hey is an article, Adelphi. 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 Move. Move. Hey, Adelphi, move means literally in the first place is there. It stands for hey. Adelphi, sister. Adelphi stands for sister. Move. Remember, this is in genitive case. The genitive case singular. Genitive case singular. Now, how do I translate it? Remember, a genitive case is a case of possession. Is a case of possession. What do I mean? When we are translating it, it will be the sister of you. Of you. So this is a literal translation. But we have to make it clear for people to understand what we mean by the sister of you. Singular. Okay. How can we put it or construct it? I will write you are the sister of you. You are not me. This is not you, please. This is not you. This is me, the sister of me. I'm very sorry. Sister of me. The sister of me. When we are saying the sister of me, it actually, we have to construct it as my sister. My sister. So you reconstruct it to read my sister, the sister of me, my sister. When I say the sister of me, I mean this is my sister, okay? My sister. And that's the translation I've given here. My sister. I begin with what? Mu, of me, my. He adelphe, sister. Okay? So we don't translate the he. My sister. So it only means my sister. Okay? Now, you can see this article, he, it cannot have its own what? Accent. Because it is very much attached to adelphe. And therefore, this accent here serves them all. So that's how I arrived on this translation. So when you make the translation, let it be in accordance to how you have understand the Greek text. And you must know how to argue from it. For example, the sister of me. I'll not need the or of me, but I'll connect it as this sentence is telling about my. So I say my sister. Now, the second one. The second one here, it is ho angelos. Ho angelos. Who? Ho angelos. No, I need to go to this. We have two of them here. In number one, we have the two of them. We have ho huyos su. Ho huyos su. Let me write it here. Ho huyos su. So, ho huyos su. This is the son of youth. Literal translation, the son of youth. What do I mean? Your son. Your son. The son of youth. Your son. That is what I mean here. The son of youth. That's why I have translated here, your son. The son of you is correctly translated as what? Your son. So please note that. Don't say it is what. What? It is hard. So you can see this personal pronoun, it has no accent of it on. It has no accent of it on because it is attached to this son. You, son, your son, son of you, your son. Okay, so it has no any accent on it. So this accent, we have the accent on the noun. And it is where? On the ultima. The ultima is this. This is the ultima. Okay? The ultima of the noun. Huyos. Huyos. So please note that. So we refer to this as enclitic. So is an enclitic. That is what you need to know. The same to number one. Mu is also an enclitic. That is, it does not have its own what? Accent, because it is so closely related to the noun. And therefore, it is not possible for it to have its own accent. Now, I need to go to the second one here on the board. I trust that you are seeing on the board clearly. If there is anyone complaining, let me have that. Now, number two. Let me rub this first. All that are written here are in your notes. Number two is ho and los. Ho and los. So ho de los. Note this. We have, it begins with a vowel, and therefore it has a smooth breathing, an accent of smooth breathing, and an accent. No, it's the breathing, smooth breathing, and an accent on the same letter. And then, because we need to add on another accent here to pronounce ho, nge, los. Ho, nge, los. Here is high, nge, los. Nge, los. So this noun has two accents, and then the following word, su, has no accent. So this becomes an enclitic. It does not have an accent of its own, but the accent that would have been placed on this is basically brought on the ultima. Here, you can see on the ultima. Okay. And how is it translated? It's translated literally. It's translated here. The angel. Angel or servant. So is of you. The angel or servant of you. the angel or servant of you. Automatically, the angel servant of you. It means you are servant. You are servant, not servant. I'm sorry. Angel or a messenger. 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 Okay. Messenger can be an angel, or you can use the word messenger. I'm sorry. Now, the angel or a messenger of you automatically becomes your messenger. Your messenger. Stroke angel. Okay. The angel messenger of you. Now, when we bring it to possession, we don't need to translate there. We don't need to translate there. We only now bring it under your messenger. Your messenger, possession. So, when you are doing the translation, the first thing, try to translate the Greek literally, and then you come to reconstruct it later. And this is what we do most. You have to do what? We say literal translation is the angel or a messenger of you. Now, final translation is referring to your messenger or angel. Your messenger or angel. So please note that. And then another example is there. Another example is there. Is this one. How do laws? How do laws? How do laws? Note, we have two accents here, a circumflex and an acute accent. This acute accent is on the ultima, and the circumflex is on the final. Is on the final, because when we want to divide this into syllables, we have do and then loss. So we have two syllables here. Okay, do loss. So that's why syllables are also very important in Greek. They help you to determine where is the ultima, where is the final, where is the antefinal. For example, here we have how many? One syllable. A. Nge. A. Nge. Loss. Su. A. Nge. Loss. Su. So this is the ultima, this is the final, and this is the antefinal. The antefinal. Now we are on this one. How do laws? How do laws? How do laws Hodulous moon. Hodulous moon. Okay, literally it is translated the servant stroke slave. Of who? Of me. The servant or slave of me. Automatically it becomes what? My, this is the correct translation now. My servant or slave, slave. Okay. Why am I using two words here? Because doulos may refer to servant and doulos also refers to slave. The slight difference here is that doulos as a servant, this is a person maybe whom you have employed, and therefore he has a monthly earning. And a slave is someone whom you are using to work for you. He is under your mercy. If you wish, you can reward him or not. If you wish, you can give him a small salary or not. Slave. So my servant or my slave. That's why I'm using the two words here. Servant, slave. Because those stand for the two. Okay? Now, you can also again see the ultima and actually the ultima begins here. And which the accent is, and then the final. Remember, these are two vowels, and we refer to them as diphthong. Diphthong. So that's why they are okay. So how you lost move the servant slave of me, my servant, my slave. Now we come to the third one. Third point. Example. We have erga, su. Erga su eisin. Erga su eisin. AC. This is iota. This is iota. And this smooth breathing. So a sin, hoi. Hoi. O. Ra. No. No. Ora no. Ora no. Now, literally, I may translate Works. Works. This is plural. You need to note that. Works of you is works of you are. This is the third person plural of any. Third person plural of any. AC. You are going to see the conjugation of any, and you are going to meet this. Also, you are going to meet this here. So, works of you are the what? The heavens. Are the heavens. What does it mean? It simply means, because this is a nominative case, we begin with this. The heavens are, then we come to this, are your works. The heavens are your works. So, in the first place, I have taken this as number one. In the second place, I have taken this as number two. Here. The heavens are. Okay. Are is this. Actually, in the literal translation, I would have said the works of you, they are. They are the heavens. Works of you, they are the heavens. So the heavens are your works. So this is the correct translation. This is literal translation. And when you are doing this, and you write literal translation, even though you don't get it here correctly, I'll give you most of the marks here. Okay, so do literal translation and then final translation. How you have understand the sentence. So the heavens are your works. The heavens are your works. Okay. Now, and then the other example is here. I hope you have noted that. Let me do it down. The other example is here. Ho. Angelos. Angelos. Ho angelos. Su. Su. A-S-T. Ho angelos. S-T. P pistos. E angelos su esti pistos. Now, literally, I may translate the servant or a messenger. So messenger. The messenger. Messenger. The messenger of you. ST is, but we may put he drop he drop it, because this conjugation of ST is third person singular of any. The third person singular of any, this one. Now, pistos, a, faith. The messenger of you, he, she, it. Faith. Is. This is this. A C, this one. Is faithful. Now, how do I translate this? Now, because when you see the enclitic accented, it means it is emphatic. Emphatic. Emphatic in which sense? The messenger of you, he, she, it is faithful. He is making an insertion that this messenger is what? Faithful. So this enclitic is given its own accent. Is given its own accent. Why? Because it is emphatic. But these ones were not emphatic. This one is not emphatic. This one here is not emphatic. This one here not emphatic. And also this one and that one. They were not emphatic. So how do I translate this? Your messenger is. Your messenger is faith. Faith. So this is the translation we get. And this now becomes your personal translation. And you are responsible for it. In case of any question, you have to explain. This is what I arrived on. And the fact that made me arrive on this is because of ABC. Okay? So your messenger is faithful. How do you write it in Greek? Ho angelosu esti pistos. Remember, a Greek sentence, you can begin it from anywhere. I can even begin it from here or there. I bring this to be past. I just mix them. So what we are needed here is to do what? To is actually to what is needed here is actually for you to assert why this so is an emphatic personal pronoun. Okay. Hello, Linus. Hello, Linus. Linus.
Hello, sir.
Are you awake?
Yes, sir, I'm awake.
Are you following?
Yes, sir. Just that I'm the only one in class, sir.
Okay, what is there now? Let us have a break.
Okay, sir. Everybody has left. We had few students, but all have left. I'm the only one.
Okay. So yeah, I'll continue with you. What
No,
is the reason?
we just trust God. It's not easy, sir.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, but I believe that if we keep practicing, God will help us. It will go.
Yeah. So what is there? Let us have a break, and then we come back after 15 minutes. So that
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
We can finish the section remaining. Okay. 15 minutes.
Thank you, sir.
Hey. Hello, Linus. Linus?
Yes, sir.
You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So can we go ahead?
Yes, sir.
What have they told you about?
I've not contacted anybody, sir.
Oh, okay. Now, let us now continue. And do you have any question?
Yes, sir, that point four like that.
Huh?
That point four, I'm not really clear. That if
From
the
four.
word, yeah, if the word before an enclitic is itself an enclitic or a proclitic, it receives an acute accent on the old mark. Yeah, so I'm seeing the su having an acute accent on the old mark. The second letter of the diphthong.
Oh, you mean number two?
Number four.
Number four.
Yes, under 40.2.
Okay, number four says that if the word before an enclitic is itself an enclitic or a proclitic, it receives an acute accent on the ultima. Acute accent on the ultima. Then they have given an example. Ergasu, eisin, hoi, ouranon. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So What is actually meant is this. Just all number 4. Yeah, from the text, he said that if the word before an enclitic is itself an enclitic or a proclitic, it receives an acute accent on the ultima. Now, this means, let me say, maybe a word like here. You see on the board?
Yes, sir.
You see on the board, isn't it? It is saying that egra su a seed. Egra su a seed. Okay. And it says hoi or oranoi. Hoi oranoi. Now, what is meant here is that this is an enclitic.
Yes, sir.
Enclitic. And also, this is what? It is also an enclitic. You remember the place they say that we have, let's hold on. We have where we have this. This is an enclitic, and also this one is an enclitic. So it comes after the word, isn't it? And this word has been accented here. Erga is accented here. Okay? And then if we accent this one, that is this word, we need to accent it on the ultima. We need to accent it on the ultima. And this ultima is actually the whole of this. Because su is only one syllable. Why? Because this is it's only one syllable because this is a diphthong. This one is a diphthong. Oh, a diphthong. And therefore, it has only one syllable. So this syllable, we may refer to it as ultima. And also this one is an enclitic. And then if we want to accent it, we will only accent it on what? On the ultima. Now, this one is divided into two. This is one syllable, A, and then the other syllable is C. Okay? A is a diphthong. C is another syllable. So the accent does not come here, but it is accented on the ultima. So this has the ultima and the penal. Ultima and the penal. This has no penal. It's only ultima. So where do we accent? Is we put on the last syllable, this two, which is referred to as ultima. You get me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So This is the ultima. Ultima means the last syllable. And then we come to penult is the second last syllable. And then we come to, if there are three syllables, the antepenult, the third syllable. From what? From the ultima. So those are the only syllables that we can put an accent. And in this case, you are told that you can only, if the enclitic is accented, then you need to do what? To put the accent on the ultima. That is the last syllable, not any other syllable. So that is what it actually means. Any other question, please? Linus?
No, sir. Maybe when we continue, I'll have another question.
You have another question?
I'm saying that maybe when we continue, I'll have another question.
Yeah. But are you getting the idea clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you know, patience pays. Patience pays.
Actually, sir.
Yeah. We have only 2 lessons to finish the course. And this is the second last. Okay. Now, as we continue, we come to another thing I need you to note is that the enclitic itself will be accented in the following circumstances. The enclitic itself be accented in the following circumstances. These are the circumstances when you are supposed to put an accent on the enclitic. You get the point? This is the time, the rules that are given to accent the enclitic. And what are they? If you come to page 65, and on that page 65, we have number 1 there, which says an enclitic of 2 syllables retains its accent when it follows a word having an acute on the penult. An enclitic of 2 syllables retains its accent when it follows a word having an acute on the penalty. And the example given is ho artos estin hagios. Ho artos estin hagios. Let me explain this on the board. I need to explain this on the board. I need to wrap this so that I can write on the board. Okay. Now the sentence is this. Ho are tos. Ho are tos or arthos, esteem, 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 hagios, hagios. Or esteem, hagios. Literally, we are told that an enclitic of 2 syllables retain its accent when it follows a word having an acute on the final, having an acute on the final. So remember, this is an enclitic. Esteem is an enclitic. And this is the word it follows, arthos. And arthos, it has got 2 syllables. This is 1 and this is 2. Arthos. So we are told that if that is the case, it has to retain if accent on the penalty. So this is ultima and this is penalty. So it retains if accent on the penalty. And also the enclitic, which is esteem, also it has how many? 2 syllables. Okay. So it also has to retain this accent here, but the accent is not acute, but it becomes gray. Gray. But on the what? This one is on the ultima, and this one is on the penalty. So this retains, the word retains if accent on the what? On the penalty. It retains if accent on the penalty. And the meaning of that actually is a literal translation is the bread are toast, the bread is actually in literal translation we normally do now. He, she, and then it. And then it is now when we come to the verb itself is holy, hagios, holy. Now the bread, he is actually here. This is third person singular of Amy. The third person singular of Amy. And because we have he, she, it in this third person, we now want to omit the unnecessary pronouns here. The unnecessary pronoun here is what? The bread is actually masculine. Bread is actually what? Masculine. And because the bread itself is here, we don't need to say the bread he is holy. No, we just go directly, but only take this from this. And then we come to rewrite the translation as the bread is holy. The bread is holy. The bread is holy. Because this is third person, so what we come to omit is this. Because we cannot use he. Yes, the bread is masculine, but we cannot use he because the bread itself is here. The bread is. So we only take the verb is from here and now complete the sentence with holy. The bread is holy. And then number two, it says, in this example, esteem is an enclitic. You can see, esteem is an enclitic of two syllables. It is an enclitic of two syllables. And I have shown you this esteem. It has how many syllables? Two. This one. Ultima and final. Okay. Ultima and final. And then another rule says that it follows the word hagios. It follows the word hagios, holy, that has an acute what? Accent on the finals, and therefore retains what? A grave accent. A grave accent on the iota here. It retains that accent there. Why? Because of the word that it follows. It has an acute accent on the pinot and therefore retains a grave accent on the ultima. A grave accent on the ultima. So this is concerning the enclitic. And as we have seen, Amy also is an accent. And then in number 5, we see that an enclitic receives an acute on the ultima. An enclitic receives an acute on the ultima. When it is emphatic, it receives the acute on the ultima when it is emphatic, such as in contrast or at the beginning of the sentence or clause. For example, they have given this example. Lego 10 alidean. Lego 10 alidean emigar prophetess. Emigar prophetess. And let me write it on the board. So that I can explain. But if you have a question, please interrupt me so that I can explain. Now, Lego, Lego, Lego this is Lego 10, Lego 10, Lego 10, Alebeyan, Alebeyan, Lego 10, Alebeyan. This is an active action, Alebeyan, comma, and then any, God. Don't mind about it, but you have learned what God is. God. God has a great accent. God prophetess. 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 Now, literally, I may translate Lego. Lego is a verb, which means I speak. I speak. The Alebeyan is, this is an article and it is here. Alebeyan is food. I speak the truth. I speak the truth, comma. I speak the truth, comma. Any God. And then here is I am. Any means I am. God means for. God means for. And then prophet. Prophet. For a prophet. This should be, let me write here. For a prophet. Now, this is a literal translation. Now, how do we rewrite it properly? Especially here, you can see if the person doesn't know what is supposed to be done there, it does not give a clearer sense. Now, the clearer sense comes when we rewrite the answer as I speak. I speak the. I speak the truth. Why? You speak the truth, for a preposition comes first. For God here. This for is for God. Amy now follows. Instead of Amy starting here, this comes here. Why is it not written here? Because in Greek, this cannot come first in its phrase. Cannot come first in its phrase. So it comes second or next. So for I am a prophet. For I am a prophet. So this is the correct version. I speak the truth, for I am a prophet. I speak the truth, for I am a prophet. Now, what do we see here? What do we see here? We see that Amy, which is this one, Amy, which means I am, is an enclitic. This is referred to as an enclitic. Amy. And then, since it is an enclitic, okay, it receives an acute accent on the ultima. It receives, instead of break, it is given acute accent on the ultima. Remember, it has two syllables. The first syllable is A, the second syllable is me, Amy. So the ultima, and this is the final. So we put an acute accent on the ultima of the enclitic. We put the accent on the ultima of the enclitic. Why? Because, why do we put it there? Because it is emphatic. Emphatic in which sense? It is emphatic in that the speaker, the person who is speaking, this is I, here, comes to emphasize who he is. He comes to emphasize who he is. So Amy is emphatic, enclitic, and therefore it deserves an acute accent on the ultima. On the ultima. So after that, we see in that the speaker himself confirms. He confirms of who he is. You can see here, I speak the truth. How will I know you speak the truth? I am a prophet. But here now it depends, a prophet of who? Also, we have false prophets, isn't it? So, that is, will be concluded sometimes. I am a prophet of the living God, the creator of heaven and earth. So, he is asserting to the person he's speaking to who he is. And that's why I say Amy is emphatic and it deserves what? It deserves an accent. Deserves an accent. If there is any question, please, you need to ask. Otherwise, I continue. We now need to go to subsection 41. Remember, we have an assignment there for practice. You need to practice. I've written there practice. Then I have inserted teacher. Let the students translate the sentence below on the whiteboard from Greek to English. Let them identify the emphatic and enclitic in the sentence and state why they think that is emphatic, that enclitic is emphatic. So you just read it through, even though I have given the answer in the bracket, but try to work it on your own, because basically you need to give your reason for why you have stated so. Now, let us go to the conjugation of the present indicative of Amy. I am. And it is as follows. Let me write it on the board, and then I'll have to explain something about it. I'll have to explain something about it. The conjugation of Amy. I think I'll need the whole board, and therefore I have to rub whatever is on it. Just be patient for a while as I clean the board. You are just about to finish the course. I hope next week you'll be concluding the course and set the date for your exam. Now, this is the conjugation of, if you are told to write the conjugation of the present.
Hello, sir.
And yes, Nina.
You said something about exam. I didn't get well.
I was saying by next week we will be done by the lesson, and then I'll explain to you when we can have an exam, because we need to be with an argument with you.
Yes, sir, we'll finish next week. We'll surely finish next week.
Yeah, obviously, because this is lesson 7. We are remaining with one lesson, lesson 8. Yeah, and then
yes, sir.
We'll be done. And then maybe
True, sir.
We can set a day when you have the questions, so that I can clarify to you, and then later we arrange for the date of exam with you. That's correct?
Okay, so thank you.
Okay, that means you have time to revise at least.
Yeah, I'll have to give you some time to revise, and then that's why I'm saying that I have to make arrangements with you. I cannot.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir. I'll be fine.
Okay. Now. Okay. The conjugation. If you are told to write the conjugation of any, this is what you are supposed to do. The conjugation of the present active present indicative of any this is the Greek word which means I am. This is to show the examiner, you know the meaning of what? Amy, I am. The conjugation of the present indicative of any is as follows. And then now, the first thing you need to do is to identify the numbers. How do you identify the numbers? By writing singular, and then plural. These are the two are the numbers. And then later we come to persons. So we come to first person. And the first person of Amy is Amy. Which means I am. Singular. First person singular is Amy. I am. And then second person is A. With a smooth breathing, with an accent, and then we have with a smooth breathing and then an accent on top of the smooth breathing, which is a what? A circumflex. A means what? A means you, singular. You, singular. Are. I am. You are, singular. And then third person is esteem. Esteem. Now, Remember, we have a movable nu. That's why I'm putting it in bracket. A movable nu, which means it can be there or not. So the verb stands as what? As st. But the nu is added here because of certain emphasis, which we have already learned about them. St. Here. And it means what? Here it means he stroke she stroke it is. So the verb itself is this. Now here you have to make a choice. If the pronoun or the noun is in the masculine, you use he. If it is in feminine, you use she. If it is in neuter, you use it. It. So he, she, it is. So the verb means is. Now, after that, you do what? You come to plural, which is as men. As men. Okay? As men. Then accent there. As men. As men means we are. We are. We are. And then este. This is first person plural. Second person plural is este. 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 Then there. And it is translated you, and then in bracket plural. Plural. Are. You are. And then third person is a sin. Third person. A sin. With a movable nu. With a movable nu. It means they are. They are. Okay? So this is the conjugation of the present indicative of any. Okay? You can see the second person here. If you don't show the second person here, the meaning is the same as the second person plural. You are, you are. So you must specify this you refers to what? Number. Singular. A single number. And this you here refers to plural, a number of people. A number of people. Okay? So that's why even though we have written here singular and there plural, always when you are translating, especially when you are doing the passing of the first person, second person, and third person, you have to indicate. And also here, in third person singular, you can see we have the masculine, feminine, and neuter. You have to, now when you are doing the translation, what does the context of the text tell you? Is it talking about masculine? Is it talking about feminine? Is it talking about neuter, something neuter? For example, if I may say, she bear a child. She bear a child. Have I told you the sex of the child? No. So the child is neuter. Neuter in which sense? Okay. Neuter in which sense? It is neuter because we don't know whether it is a male child or a female child. So when we specify, is when now we come to categorize whether it is male, female, or it is something neuter. Okay, so this is what the translation actually requires. You must be clear, and it's mandatory for you as a scholar, a biblical scholar, to do what? To read by yourself in the original manuscript what the text says and understand it. And you look at it and give your own view. Don't always be basing your views to other people. If you find that your translation is like of so and so, then you come to an agreement with that person. But don't always be someone who relies on what opinion of other people. Be self-independent. Remember, when we come for judgment before God, you stand there alone. You cannot say, oh, I said this because so and so said. So Greek helps you, and also Hebrew helps you to read both the New Testament and the Old Testament in their original language, and you can be able now to translate it on how you understand and give your personal view. So don't always rush to the Bible dictionaries or commentaries. Commentaries are opinions of the writers. But what is your opinion? What is your own opinion? Who decided for you to be a Christian? None. It's you who makes the decision. That's why it is mandatory for us to learn Greek and also Hebrew. Let us not just be biased, relying on whatever someone says. And they say, oh, this is the truth. No. Try to discover the truth yourself. Okay? So this is what it means now. So when I ask this, you give me this, I'll give you your marks. I'll give you your marks. And please note, always vowels must have a breathing, either smooth breathing or rough breathing. Okay. We have another word which looks like this. And it stands as A. Okay. And it means, as we go ahead, you'll find that A here means if. So it's only the accent which enables you to differentiate this A and this A here. This without accent means if, but with an accent, it means you are. You can see. So accents are very important in Greek. Nobody should tell you that, oh, these are not very important. Or someone tell you that, oh, Greek is not very important. It is, and you need it. So this is why we have the accent, because they help you to identify and to differentiate the meaning of this and the meaning of this. This has an accent. When it has an accent, and remember this one has a breathing. It also has a breathing, but it does not have what? It does not have the circumflex as this. Okay. So you can be confused. Always be checking. If you see the diphthong here has a smooth breathing and it has a circumflex on top, please note it gives you this meaning. And that's why you find many people are very much confused, even the writers, the commentators. So if you are not very careful, you will find yourself engaging on wrong teaching. Okay? So remember the importance of accent. That's why I had to write that book to do with the accentuation of the Greek verbs, the Greek words. Most other scholars you will find they have written yes, but they don't have accent. Okay, so that is it. Any question on this conjugation of the word Amy? Okay, if there isn't any, we go to subtopic 41.1. Subtopic 41.1. 41.1. This says, the subtopic says this. I have to read it from the text. It says, as with other linking verbs, Amy, this, Amy takes a predicate nominative to complete its meaning. It takes a predicative nominative to complete its meaning. And then I have given that a predicate nominative may be a noun or an adjective. A predicative nominative may be a noun or an adjective. For example, examples are given. Okay. For example, I beg to rub the board. I beg to rub the board, trusting that you have understood what I have conveyed to you. Now, okay, example given is this. Let me write on the board and then I can explain. One. This is subtopic 41.1. Now, example given is one. Or yours. Or yours. Or this is a grade. Or yours. Agape. 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 Or yours. Agape. Agape, esteem, esteem, esteem.
Brother Simon, please mute your mic.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. So, esteem, esteem. Esteem, or anthropos, 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 anthropos. Now, before I come to the actual meaning or translation, I need to translate it literally. So, a literal translation is there. God love esteem, maybe so this stands with this stands with that, love stands with that, agape, and then esteem stands with he is and then ho again here stands with the man, anthropos, the man. Now, I'm sorry. I have just confused here, please. So let me just correct it. Let me correct it. This phrase is that ho theos agape esti. Ho theos agape esti. Which means literally the God. So this stands for that. God stands for theos. Love stands for agape. He she, it is. Okay, the verb. Now, why am I doing this? Because it is referred to as literal translation. I have to show all the Greek writing. And also, why am I writing this here? Is she, it? I have to identify who, which person. Is he, is he, she, is he, it, or what? Now, to write it in other words, is that the God agape esti. Now, remember, God is an abstract noun. Therefore, abstract noun, yes, it will always have the article, but when in Greek, but when we are translating it, this article does not reflect in the translation. So I'll have to write here, God. I omit the article. God is what? God, love, he, she, it is. God, love, he, she, it is. What do I mean by that? God, remember, he is referring to God. So we cancel this. We cannot refer to God as she or it. So we cancel that. And now we come again to cancel this because it is referring us to God. So we cannot write God, he. No. So we just write God, and then this is love. This is love. Peace. Now, we always say what? God is love. God is love. So this is the correct translation. You need to translate literally and then pick in what is necessary. So what is necessary is this one, and that one. And now, read. Does this make any sense? God love is. God love is. Does it make any sense? No. But what we know, God is a subject. Love is a what? Predicate. So we arrange it in English. God first, and then the verb. We are now framing it in an English sentence. The verb, which is, and then the predicate, love. God is love. God is love. Okay? So God is love. What was being said there? It was being said that as with other linking verbs, Amy takes a predicative nominative to complete its meaning. A predicate nominative may be a noun or an adjective. For example, so God is the subject and love is what? Okay, and then the second reference. The second reference is, let me write it down there. We have number 2. Oh, yeah, this is number 1. Number 2. It says prophetess. A-S-T. Prophetess. A-S-T. Pro. Fe. Tes. Prophetess. Prophetess. A-S-T. A-S-T. Or anthropos. 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 Prophetess, esteem, ho, anthropos. Now, when we are translating, literally is a prophet, because there is no article here. A prophet. A prophet. So this comes with this, and then esteem. He, she, prof, it, and then is. When you do that, oh, they, by. Now, what does this mean? A prophet, he, she, it is the man. A prophet, he, she, it is the man. Okay. Now, this is a literal translation. Literal translation. Now, we need to reframe that. This is what you'll be doing most in Greek, in order for you to get an accurate translation from the original word. Now, I write, first of all, a prophet, she, it is. Now, since prophet is masculine, prophet is masculine, okay? We are going to omit this. And then Ho anthropos is masculine. So we are going to omit she, it in the first place. She, it. And then we are not going to use he. Why? Because he is referring to either prophet or a man, which is masculine. So we omit all of them and leave there the word is. A prophet is the man. Okay. Now, a prophet is the man. Now, this has no article, but this has the article to show this is the subject. The subject of the what? Of the sentence, the Greek sentence is this. So this is the subject. So I need to begin repressing this by writing the certificate, the subject, which is the man. The man. Okay. Now, prophet will come in the predicate. Prophet, prophetess. Okay. The man, and then the verb follows. This is the verb. The man is. Okay. Now, what next? This comes last. It was the first, but now it becomes the last. The man is a prophet. The man is a prophet. Now, this gives sense. Prophetess esteem or anthropos. A prophet is the man. Now, when we reconstruct it in the English way, we need the subject and the predicate. So, the man, and then the verb, a linking verb, the joining verb. That's why the linking verb is referred to there. The man is a prophet. It now gives sense. It now gives sense. So many people may get confused. Translators who do not know the way to translate the Greek, the original language. And you get them confusing. Some may confuse in the sense, instead of stating a sentence as the past tense, they state the sentence as the present tense. Or instead of stating the sentence as the past tense, they state it as the future tense. And then it gives a different meaning. So if the sentence is the present tense, we need to make it present. If it is talking about something past, we need to let people know this happened in the past. If it is stating something to do with the future, we need to let people this will happen in the future, so that we don't confuse people by what is past and they say it is now, or by what is future and they say it is now. And this is where we get the confusion in the interpretation of the Word of God. So let us be careful. Don't just settle and say, okay, my learning is over. No. You are going to learn until you go to the grave. Don't say, I'm done. You are never done. As God still gives you strength, as God still gives you good health, do something for Him. And this is what I'm trying to do. I don't look at my age and say, oh, I'm done. Well, why is my wasting? I'm not wasting. I'm investing unto God. Why? Because I'm joyful. He gives me a good health and the strength to do what I'm doing now. You also need to have that determination. So don't just give up about things and say, oh, this thing is very hard. If that is the thing, let us concentrate. I hated Greek. I hated Hebrew. In my first course in the seminar, but they became my favorite. Why? Because I insisted. The reason why they were being hard is because I was being just lectured. Nobody taught me what I'm teaching to. The lecturer could just come off, read page this and that, and then do these questions. Then he leaves you hanging like that. And then he says, if you have any question, please ask later. So you have to struggle. And that's why many people now give up. They say, oh, this thing is very hard. This is what. Let us not be of the sort. Okay, now, let me give the last.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So, let me, when it is about time, I need to know. Let me see. Oh, the time is over. Huh?
Yes, it's after 9.
Yeah, the time is over. I think we will continue on Tuesday to finish this lesson and take part of lesson 8. And then we finish it on Wednesday. Okay?
Okay, sir.
But are you getting what is on the
Thank you much.
Please, if you have a question, I need to know. Don't just say that I'm just talking, and I don't give you time to ask questions. Any question, please?
Yes, Reverend.
Yes.
It's wonderful. And I see the need for the course.
Yes.
It's really very important. What you've told us this evening,
yeah,
that as scholars, we have to make our own decisions.
Yes.
We should be also produce and not always bias.
Yeah. You don't just be dependent on others' opinions.
Yes.
Contribute your own mind. Yeah.
Yes, that is what research, we carry out your research in the universities. We want to come out with new products.
Okay.
For example,
yeah,
since Monday, I have been attending an online conference in Athens. The University of they call it Democratic University of Thrace in Athens. And most of them, they write their names, but in Greek. And other things. So if I cannot read their names because they write it in Greek. So if I knew this course, it would be very easy for me to interact with them and so on and so on. Yes, so it's really very important. Our problem is that all of us are workers.
Yes.
And we only find time to do what we are doing. Yes, so what I'm saying is that I'm pleading with you to give more time for us to prepare for the exams.
Yeah.
That will help us a lot. For example, like me, sir, I am still trying to build up the vocab. I mean, the alphabet. So I need a lot of time to do that. I'm just pleading with you that many of us are already engaged somewhere, that you should give us enough time. Thank you.
Maybe after next week, when we have concluded the course, then we can talk about that.
Okay, sir.
Thank you so much. We are grateful.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think what we have covered today is enough for the brain.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Next Tuesday.
I'm
very thankful. I'm very thankful, and a good night to you all. And let's meet again on Tuesday. Please.
Thank you so much.
Be early so that we can cover much.
Yes.
You are welcome.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you. I wish we had, I could come to Cameroon and then I teach you face to face.
Oh, we are just beginning. We are just beginning. In future, we'll invite you when things become normal.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we still have more to learn because this is the first course. Then we have the second course, third course, and then fourth course.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
We'll pray for that. God will give us the resources to invite you, sir.
You are welcome.
Amen.
Okay.
Thank
good
you
night.
so much.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, sir.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
I'm glad because I hear we have our dear ladies also attending the class.
Actually, sir.
Thank you.
Is
Brenda around? Linus.
No, sir. Brenda is not around.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm very grateful for what they are doing also. Okay, good night.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend.
Johnny. Okay.